Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from SegaCityUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com. In the background, you're going to be hearing Stella Doro screaming as usual, so don't mind that. This is going to be a first of its kind type of video. I don't really do this. I've never done it. I like watching them, but sometimes they could be overwhelming in terms of people picking up stuff every day and doing a video constantly. I feel like then there's nothing special to it. So you may see me do one of these, but it's going to be very few and far between, as I don't buy as much as I used to, and this is an exception to the rule in terms of me purchasing stuff. So after doing that how much is too much video, the video response for Interghost and Unleaded Logic, who are two excellent YouTubers if you haven't checked them out yet, it came to my mind that I do miss my Dreamcast stuff. I can make room for it. So I kind of fell into the, wow, I regret selling my Dreamcast stuff 10 years ago, and I wish I had it all back, or most of it back, and people still play online with the Dreamcast. It's a big community still, so what do I do? So I spoke to my wife, and I said, listen, I want to do this and stuff, and I moved some stuff around and stored some stuff away. So I made room to get a Dreamcast again, and I haven't really played it yet. That's for two reasons. First off, I'm waiting on a VGA cable to get made by a gentleman in France named Kaboo, I believe is how you pronounce it, and once he sends me that cable, I'll be able to play it in 480p instead of 480i, and supposedly it makes a world of difference, and he makes these very high quality cables, so I'm going to do a little review once that arrives. But also I need extension cables for my controllers, because my TV is pretty far away because it's a pretty big TV. So I need those extension cables before I really can get comfortable and play. So anyhow, I'm going to do a pickups video. After all that long-winded 2 minutes of me rambling, that's what this is. This is a pickups video. So my friend Jay likes to buy stuff and turn it around really fast for quick cash. He does this with all kinds of video game stuff. So Jay had given me, for 60 bucks, which I thought was a pretty good deal, he gave me, let me pop this thing out. Jesus, that didn't sound good. He gave me a Dreamcast, which was in very nice shape. This might not be the one exactly because there's a different story to that. Two of these Interact guns for House of the Dead and stuff like that. The thing is, my TV doesn't support it because I have an LCD TV. So, but either way, they were cool. So two of these, the Dreamcast, 4 controllers, 3 regular VMUs, 1 Mega VMU, which holds 4 times the amount as a regular VMU, and 1 game which I left in the other room. It's Sega Smash Pack, which is like a couple or a bunch of old classics like Virtua Cop 2, I think, Golden Axe, Sega Swirl, I think Sonic's on there, one of the Sonics, Phantasy Star, some of those are on there. So he gave me that, and he threw in this for free. Ren and Stimpy's Invention on the Genesis, and that was all 60 bucks. So I got a pretty good deal, I thought, out of that. The console, 4 controllers, 3 VMUs, the Mega Card, the guns. So he did right by me. I think he could have charged me 100 bucks. He charged me 60. It wasn't so bad. So I was very happy with that grab. I also picked up online from a gentleman who had listed it incorrectly. He wrote Sega Dream Console, and he had to buy it now with $50 shipped. So I said to him, would you take 35? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. Oh, I left that inside too, actually. He gave me for $35 shipped, the Dreamcast, 2 VMUs, let's see what else. Did he send me, I think he was when he gave me a Rumble Pack as well, I believe. I think that was him. Sealed web browser that I'll never use because the newer ones, and XDP, the downloadable one, is better than this, and I have broadband on my Dreamcast now, so. Iron Aces, probably not going to play it. World Series Baseball 2K1, probably not going to play it. NFL 2K2, definitely not going to play it. This looks kind of interesting. Railroad Tycoon. NBA 2K1, I may mess around with this. I love old basketball like Patrick Ewing and stuff. WAF Royal Rumble, Sega Bass Fishing, Sega Marine Fishing, And I'm not going to run in the other room because there'll be too much dead air, but the Dreamcast fishing rod. And he gave me all that for 35 bucks shipped. So I got a really good deal on that. So between the 60 and the 35, I made out pretty well, but I also wanted to get back all the games that I loved that I never beat, or that I had maybe beaten but didn't get a chance to, that I wanted to keep. So I picked up a mouse for I think about $3 shipped on the Dreamcast for maybe a couple shooters. I don't think it works with Phantasy Star. I picked up this off of Amazon with some gift cards I had. So I got the Dreamcast keyboard for Phantasy Star Online. I also got a broadband adapter, which is not in this video. I have that inside as well. I didn't want to take it apart, but the Dreamcasts came with a 56K modem in America. I think they came out with a 33.3 or 33.8. I can't remember the number in Europe, but they came with a 56K modem. But they made a broadband adapter for a very short time, and they charged $50 online for them, and they came out in a small supply, and they're very rare and they're very expensive. I got one for $96. They go anywhere from, I've seen 100 to almost 200. So I got one of those because there's still a community on Dreamcast. I think it's dreamcast-talk.com. They have a great forum and a bunch of really nice people, and they play Phantasy Star Online still, broadband. There's a private server called Silverant. It's Sylverant, Silverant. They have a private PSO server, so Phantasy Star Online still online, and I believe Quake 3 Arena is still online because I think it runs through GameSpy, is it? And then there's some other stuff that they do dial-up still. So I picked up that stuff, which I'm really excited about getting back into. I love Phantasy Star Online. And I picked up this stuff. I got Alien Front Online because I wanted the microphone that came with it to play Seaman, because it's hard to get a copy of Seaman complete. Sadly, they forgot to send me the mic, so that's on its way. I also got Shenmue 2 coming, the PAL version, and Headhunter, the PAL version coming, so I'm excited about that. UFC, which was I think my first Dreamcast game that I got for the first time I owned the Dreamcast back in the early 2000s. Great game. I think it still holds up. The Floygan Brothers I just got. This was a great platformer puzzle game. Really underrated, really overlooked. A lot of fun with this one. Elemental Gimmick Gear. This is a game I had on Dreamcast initially for $5 when I worked at GameStop. This is $30 now. Can you believe it? It's a pretty cool top-down RPG. I don't know if you can really see very well with the screenshots. Let me show you the Floygan Brothers too, actually. But this is like a little rare now, and it's kind of a cult classic at this point. So I really wanted to play Elemental Gimmick Gear, and I didn't get very far in it when I played it initially, and I really wanted to play this. Quake 3 Arena, which still has an online server. Seaman, which is the, if nobody knows, it's the one where it's almost kind of like, I don't want to say Tamagotchi, but you have the microphone, you can talk to him, he remembers things, and then you have to feed him every day and talk to him, and every time you play with him, or talk to him, he develops and he evolves. So that's pretty interesting, and he remembers stuff and he'll bring it up to you. I got Silver, which is one of the Dreamcast games I really liked a lot. It's a pretty crappy graphics, but it's like the rendered backgrounds, kind of like Final Fantasy VII, and it's an action RPG. This was pretty cool. Phantasy Star Online version 2 to play online, as I said before. Fire Pro Wrestling, which is supposedly one of the best wrestling games ever. It's a sort of a 2D wrestling game for the Dreamcast, import only. They have a ton of wrestlers from different organizations that they don't use their real names, so they get away with it, but really cool game. Record of Lodoss Wars, sort of a semi-rare Dreamcast game. They always compare it to Diablo. It's kind of like Dreamcast's version of Diablo. Resident Evil Code Veronica, which I don't think I've ever played, or if I have, maybe it was very brief. This was like $5 online. I used Amazon gift cards for most of this. Armada, which is a great RPG slash shoot 'em up game. It's like almost like a 3/4 or a top-down view where you fly around, and I think it's multiplayer locally. You fly around and you shoot people, and you can upgrade your ship and get better weapons. Blue Stinger, which is a great, really cheesy, stupid survival horror game with, I think the controls were a little weird, but I really like this game a lot. I really want to play this again. And really goofy. I think you're stuck in like a casino or a mall or something, but with these weird aliens. Really cool game. And these are my two of my favorite games of all time. So Shenmue 1, perfect condition. I mean, the manuals, the game, the discs, everything's mint. I wanted the limited edition, but I didn't get it because it was like double the price just for the soundtrack. And if you haven't played this, it's like a mix between, how do I put it? I've referenced this before. It's what they call free. I think it's Full Reactive Eyes Entertainment. It's an adventure game primarily, but there's fighting like Virtua Fighter. There's an RPG element where there's a collecting element where you can get items and collect. You can play arcade games in the game, so like Space Harrier and what's the other one? Is it Outrun? No, not Outrun. Well, Yu Suzuki made this game, and he made those games, and he put them in this game. He also there's like RPG elements where you can strengthen your character and get better moves and earn money by doing side jobs, and the NPCs have a schedule. So if you go somewhere at 3 o'clock, an NPC might be there, but then they might leave at a certain time, and if you interact with them, certain things happen. The fighting system is really good, and it also kind of introduced the QTEs, the QuickTime events. I don't know if you know what those are. That's like where things pop up on the screen. Well, actually, no, it didn't introduce it, because the Sega CD probably did, but where buttons pop up on the screen, you have to push them in a certain amount of time, or else you get hit or you lose a life. So there's that. It's a ton of different genres mashed into one. I would probably label it an adventure game overall. Amazing story. They made one. They made two only in Europe and Japan, so you're better off getting the European version because it has English subtitles. Then they re-released two on the Xbox, which I did a little mini review on fairly recently, and they never came out with three, so the story never got finished, which is very sad. So there's many people on the internet who are looking for a third game. Please, Sega and Yu Suzuki eventually put one out. I would love to play it. It's one of my favorite games ever. And this one I love, and a great YouTuber called Shenmueso, he just picked this up sealed in Europe. It's called Omicron: The Nomad's Soul. This was on my list of games that I love that some people bash, that I did the other day. It is kind of like a Shenmue Lite. That's the best way for me to put it. Except it's not in the 80s with a Japanese fellow. It is in the future with a David Bowie soundtrack, which is awesome. And you jump into different bodies. I don't think it's something you can do when you want. I think it's more story related. But it also has a big adventure element. There's a fighting system. There's a shooting portion where you can shoot things. There's an RPG type element where you have to get certain items and talk to certain people, you know. So it's kind of reminds me of Shenmue, that they tried to mash a lot of different genres. The controls weren't as good, the game wasn't as polished and beautiful as Shenmue was, but if you like Shenmue, you might like this. So I really liked Omicron: The Nomad's Soul so much that I bought it on Dreamcast. I had it on the PC, so when I sold my Dreamcast, I could still play it. I sadly never beat it, but I do really want to beat this. This is the first game I'm going to play on my Dreamcast once my extension cables come in. And Shenmueso, if you play this, please tell me what you think, buddy, because it is a great game. So that was it for my first pickups video. I hope it wasn't overwhelming because I showed an awful lot. If you have a question about something I showed, or you want me to go more in depth on what it is or show it on the screen, I will, most definitely. I love the Dreamcast. I was very sad that I got rid of it, and the how much is too much video really made me think about wanting it back. And then I was like, you know what? I got a little extra saved up. Let me see if I can pick up some of my favorite stuff that I let go of. So I'm not buying things just to buy them. Some of this stuff I'm not going to play. I just got because it was part of the lot for the Dreamcast. So that was really it. Thank you guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from SegaCityUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com. I promise that I will not do pickups videos very often because I feel like sometimes they're just repetitive and they're not special, and also I don't buy as much as I used to. But I also have Shenmue 2, the PAL Edition, like I said, coming. Headhunter, the PAL Edition, coming. Zombie Revenge, which is a great like Final Fight type game mixed in like a House of the Dead type atmosphere. and what else? Sword of the Berserk, which is a great action like slasher game. So that's really it. Thanks guys for watching. I apologize. This video is 15 minutes, and be good. It's been fun, and I'm gonna do some more videos shortly. So take care, guys. Hope all is well.